Hey, everybody, we're here for a new episode 5 for Talking. I'm here with Caps, the captain of the show, and we're just going to kick this one off. This is full trade deadline, trade tracker, tracking the trades, captain of all trades. Okay, so I guess, do you want to just start with Leaf stuff in terms of trades?
Well, I'll address the big one. They got Nick Foligno. They had a need. Some grit, some toughness. He's got skill, but he's not afraid to gloves if need be. So good for him. I would slot him in the second line, if anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
So correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe we can talk about it for a second here. So Columbus takes 50%. They retain 50%.
I thought it was more than that.
San Jose retains 25%, right?
50, oh, 25. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think San Jose retains 30%.
25.
Okay, so 25 then, yeah.
So 50
I don't know why I read
25.
30. Maybe I made that up in my own head.
Yeah. People can argue that they had to give up a lot. Forget it. They're in a win now situation. They need to do what they need to do. They have enough depth. They have enough players. They have enough prospects to fill in if anybody gets injured. So if I don't care about the draft picks that they have to give up in order to get this guy.
I disagree. No, I don't disagree with you. I disagree if people say that because what upsets me is what we'll get into later. It has nothing to do with the Leafs paying or overpaying, but the price was what it was. Do you want to win a cup if it's only going to cost me a first-round draft pick? If I knew my first-round draft pick was going to be Connor McDavid, maybe I would know, but it's not going to be. So it's going to be a 30th overall pick most likely or some shit like that. So
they're in a win now situation. They got to give up what they need to give up.
And if anyone argues that, it's just stupidity. Yeah. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. So I'll just go over a couple of the things here as we get through to the other Leaf stuff. So we'll start off here the other day when we had Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac got traded to the Islanders. I think really that's good. Huge. On top of what the Islanders are going to do coming up here, I think that's like wow to me. And they kind of gave up a lot, but who cares? You're going for the cup, right?
Yeah, I mean, they lost their captain, so they got to get some depth players, some secondary scoring. That's perfect for them.
So the Riley Nash move, that's Leafs. I don't care. It's if he plays, he plays good. We need that type of guy, and if he doesn't play, who cares? They paid a 7th round pick.
Yeah, by putting Frederik Andersen on the LTIR and Riley Nash on the LTIR, they build up cap space for themselves. Enter Nick Foligno. That's why they were able to get him.
Yeah, and not to mention that if when it comes to playoff time, they can activate both of them.
Exactly. So I don't, it's a win.
It's a double win.
No, I mean, hopefully Frederik Andersen's not as hurt as as rumored is to be, but hopefully he comes back 100% and able to carry this team to a hopefully a cup win.
Personally, I'm not as worried about Andersen, but it would be nice to have an Andersen Campbell situation. Yep. I don't even know if I would go back to Andersen if he came back.
You go with the hot goalie.
Yeah, we said that last episode. You stick with your hot goalie.
Yeah, they brought Riddick in for some insurance. He's playing okay. They're actually playing, but he's playing okay. He's already getting under the skin of some of his old teammates, which is kind of funny. I was giving him a few whacks here and there, but yeah, they got to do what they got to do.
He's actually pretty decent with his stick. I noticed. I like that. He's a little bit floppy, so that's a trade. We'll just talk about that. They got him. I thought that was a smart move.
So is Campbell. So
he's not a guy you want to start, I don't think permanently, but he does have enough experience after last season. He almost started for the whole season last year for Calgary.
True, but they brought him in because they don't want to have Campbell playing every single game.
Yeah, 100%, and that's fair. And I didn't mean start games. I meant he's not going to be the number one guy.
I don't think so, no. And I don't
He,
think they can rely on Hutchinson. Like he's playing well, but
yeah. I mean,
you
him
know,
and Richie are kind of in the same boat. Riddick is probably a little bit better. Um, but he's a little bit of a floppy goalie. I noticed. I watched him from
so
last
is
season,
Campbell.
and he lets in a lot of fluffy goals. But
He's
Campbell
a
is
flop.
like,
He flops around
yeah, he
too.
does, but he has the potential to be like a lot better. Anyways, so we'll keep going. Brandon Montour to Panthers. That's a huge pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Dubnyk to the Avalanche. That's huge.
It is
Um,
huge.
and he's going to be like their third goalie, I believe. Well, I'm sure he'll move up in the lineup.
I mean, they go through all their goalies. Like they'll ride the hot goalie, whoever it is.
Yeah, that's a good thing about them. So then,
Who's
David,
who's the hot goalie that they rode last year in the playoffs?
I don't even remember his name. You tell me.
You don't remember?
I don't remember his name. You tell me.
All right. Anyway,
It wasn't Curtis McElhaney.
I think it starts with an H.
Hutchinson.
Anyway,
So David Savard to the Lightning was like, I can't even believe this trade happened.
I don't know how they do it every single year. I don't know how they do it. I mean, they lost Bogosian, they lost Shattenkirk, so they needed a top four defenseman, I guess, to step in. But
No one was expecting
enter
it.
enter Savard, and then lo and behold, come playoff time, you're going to have a healthy Kucherov and a healthy Stamkos come back.
And you know what's crazy? I said this in our group chat. The score predicted that they were going to get Savard from like 3 weeks before they got Savard, and they actually pulled it off, which is like, fuck, good on you.
I don't know how they pull it off every year, man. I really don't know how they pull it off.
You know what? If the Leafs don't win,
they're hanging around. They're like second place. Now they're just going to get better.
Yeah, that's true. So the Bruins made 2 moves. They got Mike Riley, which is a good pickup for them, and they got Taylor Hall for a bag of chips. So I'm going to bring up the Taylor Hall trade here. So I don't know how. I mean, I'm assuming it's the contracts are expiring or just they really want to get rid of him. But I heard my story, which I'll tell you. Taylor Hall and Lazar to the Bruins for a second-round pick and Anders Bjork. Like, that is one of the craziest trades I've ever seen in recent memory. They literally gave nothing, absolutely nothing for a guy who won the Hart Trophy 2 years ago.
And they retained salary, didn't it?
I don't even think they did. It doesn't say anything here about retaining salary.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I think it looks like they really wanted to get rid of him. I think he wasn't doing anything for him. I think he started off okay, but then he just...
I think he's not a guy, he's not a number one guy. And when you put pressure on him to be that, he can't.
Which is perfect for Boston because he's going to be secondary scoring for him.
Yeah. That's what I was
not going to break up that first line.
No, I knew that right away. That's why I was asking you that before. As a second liner, do you think that he's going to have room to improve because he's not going to have any pressure? Well, not any, but as much.
Bergeron, Pasternak, and what's his name?
Marchand?
Yeah. They're going to stay intact, and then I can see Hall.
I mean, and Hall playing with Krejci. Krejci's a really good center, too, so that's a big help.
But Buffalo is just in shambles.
So I heard a rumor. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's a rumor. I think Taylor Hall said it, that he used his no movement clause to force them to trade him to Boston, and they didn't really have a choice on what they were getting back in return, and that's like why this happened.
No, it's all speculation.
He said it. That's what I was reading yesterday on the score, but I don't care. Yeah, I'm just saying if that's true, that's kind of messed up, but it explains the reasoning. But this is the kind of thing I hate, and this is mostly a thing you see in basketball, especially on the buyout market, where it's just, I don't want this guy anymore. He's a 7-time All-Star in the prime of his career. I'm just going to cut him, and then the Lakers sign him for like $100,000. And it's like now they have a whole all-star team for nothing. And the same thing, which brings me to my next point, Jeff Carter, a conditional 3rd and 4th round pick for Jeff Carter. Jeff Carter on anyone's third line is going to make a difference. Jeff
Carter's up there though in age.
Yeah, but he still can score goals. You put him with a guy like Malkin or on a line with Crosby, he's gonna score goals. And he's gonna fight for a cup. He wants to win. He's old, right? Like he's willing to give it. Anyways, Braden Coburn to the Islanders. I think that's a really good pickup for the Islanders. And then we'll go. That's and this is all pre-deadline. Everything we just did here. So after the deadline, there wasn't too many like massive moves. I guess the Golden Knights getting Janmark and a bunch of draft picks flying around there was pretty big. Carl Soderberg went to the Blackhawks for a couple of young guys. The Blackhawks made a lot of moves that I don't know really why. I'm assuming it's just to free up salary cap, but I really don't know. Because it's like they're giving away their younger players to pick up one random guy in most of these trades. But Eric Gustafson to the Canadiens for a 7th round pick, that was a good pickup. And Philadelphia keeps 50% of the salary. Good pickup, Montreal. Your boy Sam Bennett went to the Panthers. The Panthers are going for it.
Panthers are going for it. Yeah.
And they're saying
Sam Bennett was like a late trade, right?
Yeah, it was after the deadline.
Yeah.
It didn't go through. But it wasn't a bad trade, actually. The Flames got back a young forward and a 2nd round pick. And the Panthers got a 6th round pick. It. Yeah, and you know what? I heard that Ekblad might come back for the 2nd round of the playoffs if they make it there. So that will be huge for them. Ben Hutton to the Leafs. The Leafs are just loading up on people, and I'm not mad. Every move they made for the first time ever was like, wow, this is so happy. Like, yeah,
like I saw a comment somewhere where, the Leafs are going at it again, trading their draft picks for a bunch of players. What? Okay.
With the team they have, you don't need draft picks.
Like Nick Foligno's not friggin' Ron Francis here, you know?
No, and I get it. And my argument on that is, if you're trading your draft picks for this year and next year, you still have all those young players on your team. You don't need any more young players.
That's fine. They got enough. They got a lot
as
of
long as
players.
You have your 1st and 2nd round picks for 4 or 5 years from now, when this team starts to break apart, that's when you're going to need those picks.
Exactly.
And that they haven't traded any of those.
Yeah. Did you bring up the Mantha trade?
No. So if you want to go talk about that,
I'll go for it.
Okay. So
I mean, Anthony, I know you're very opinionated about this one.
I am very. I think it's. I don't care how he's playing tonight, because tonight he does have a goal and an assist already. But Anthony Mantha to the Capitals in exchange for Jakub Vrana, Richard Panik, a 1st round pick, and a 2nd round pick. To me, this is the absolute, like, I'm not going to say it's a bad trade because he's not a bad player, but it doesn't make sense to me. I get it that Vrana's contract is expiring and Mantha has 2 years of control, but you also gave up Panik a 1st round pick and a 2nd round pick.
It's a little too much.
And Vrana is just as good as Mantha over the last couple of years, and he's younger and has a higher ceiling. I get it, Mantha's like a bigger body, but is he going to be the difference maker in winning a cup? We don't know yet, but to me, just on paper, I don't like it.
Maybe you've answered the question as to why they got him. He's the bigger body, and Washington is probably going to be going up against Tampa, right? Like they're in the same division, correct?
Yeah, I don't think they're all pretty close, actually.
Yeah, but Boston's there too, right?
No, I don't think they're all in the same division.
I got to check, man. But I know Tampa and Washington are in the same division. Maybe Washington felt they needed to get a little bit bigger.
Tampa's in the South Division and the Central, and the East is right now Capitals, Islanders, Penguins, Bruins. Well, going up against the Islanders and the Bruins, you're going to need big bodies. So
yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe they need to get bigger or something like that. I don't know. Even though they got Chara, but
he's not a bad player or anything.
No, he's not a bad player. But I just felt like you're right. Like they probably gave up a little too much for.
I'm sure for Vrana and a 1st, you could have already have made this trade. I'm surprised that Detroit held out to get another player and a 2nd round pick. Like, good on Detroit. Like,
hey, Steve Yzerman, man. Steve Yzerman.
With all the moves that they've acquired, like, recently, and the young players they have and the people they're bringing in, I mean, they could be good faster than we thought.
Steve Yzer working his magic like he did with Tampa. But
That's true.
it looks like he's got a plan. Give him a few more years, and we'll see what team he puts together.
So, before I ask you a couple questions here. Jordy Ben also, this is the last one. Jordy Ben went to the Jets, which is a good pickup for the Jets. That's a really good pickup for only a 6th-round pick. Good on you, Jets.
Still feel their defense is lacking though.
I still feel
Like,
that whole team is lacking. If you want my
No,
personal
Winnipeg's
feeling.
got the best talent up front, probably one of the best in the league. But their defense, man, like I don't know. I think that's the biggest need.
I kind of agree with you, but I don't think there's enough depth. To me, I don't feel there's much depth on that team past the first two lines. And you're right, there's no defenseman. And if Hutchinson gets hurt, or Hutchinson, sorry, if Hellebuck gets hurt, there's nobody there. So that's a big knock for them. But you know what? So this, I just completely forgot what I was going to talk about. What were we just talking about?
We were just talking about Winnipeg, but then, yeah.
Anthony Mantha. Why do I keep thinking of him? Okay, so anyways, do you you know what? Most of the Eastern Conference teams, I don't know how the breakdown is going to be for the playoffs.
I don't know either. I
haven't seen it.
I don't think we could discuss.
No, I'm not going to discuss this, but I think all of the Eastern Conference teams got way better in that trade deadline. The only Western Conference teams that did anything were Colorado and Vegas, who were already basically the two biggest contenders in the West. And so this is I remember what I wanted to ask you. Did you find it weird that Anaheim didn't move Getzlaf?
Did I find it weird? Maybe there was a deal in place that didn't make sense to them, so probably that's why they didn't move him.
I mean, in their situation, how terrible they are right now, I would be trying to get draft picks any way I can.
They'll probably have to do it on the offseason.
Because I'm sure if you threw him towards a team and we're like, we'll retain 70, 60% of the salary and you drop us a couple firsts, I'm sure a team would have took it. Because having Getzlaf on your team would be huge. I think the Leafs got way better. I know that's jumping the subject there, but like you said and like I said, I personally think at this point it's extremely arguable that on a piece of paper this is the greatest Leafs team of all time.
Yeah,
only on a piece of paper.
Don't jinx it.
That has nothing to do with jinxing. Jinxing doesn't exist. Jinxing doesn't exist.
You jinxed it. Anyway, move on.
You owe me a Coke. Anyways, so just quickly, we'll go through this really fast. Give me your feelings of the Leafs the last couple of games and Campbell, and that's all I want to talk about.
They're going to go through a honeymoon phase trying to implement these guys in and out of the lineup, man. So they're probably not going to play that great at first. But give them a couple weeks and they'll figure it out. I mean, they're in a pretty good spot, so they have time to figure it out.
Well, they have a solid week before any of these guys even get on the team.
Saturday, they should all be there.
Yeah.
Saturday.
When was trade deadline?
Monday, but
so no,
was done.
It's 7 days.
Okay.
When you enter the country.
Oh, Foligno's trade was done on Sunday.
When you enter the country, 7 days.
Yeah,
so,
I think he came in Sunday night.
Yeah, so he would have to wait till Sunday to play. He can't play on Saturday.
I don't know. Well, I have to see. Whatever.
They were talking about it last night. That's why. That's the only reason I know anything about that. But I'm pretty sure they all came from the Leafs. I mean, they all came from American teams, all the players. So,
yeah. But Nylander should be back on Saturday. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see who they take out once Foligno gets activated.
I think we're all in a state of who cares at this point, as long as whatever they do makes the team better. Like, I went through a period of trying to really think of who you're going to move, who you're going to take out. And then I thought about it and I was like, who cares? Who cares? As long as the team's better, who cares who they take out?
They are better, but somebody has got to come out.
No, I mean, but if they took out Wayne Simmons, but the team got better, do you care that Wayne Simmons got picked? Is my point, right?
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from, but it's not necessarily a winger that's going to be coming out. It could be a centerman that they take a winger, move to center.
No, it could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
But like, if they were like, "Oh, William Nylander, you're done for the season," and the team got better with the players they put in, I don't care. Just do it.
I do.
Matthews is on
Nylander's actually
fire.
Nylander's pretty damn good. I don't want him.
I don't want him
out.
out. I'm just like take out Frederick Anderson for the rest of the season.
He's already off his right.
Take out the guy up top. What's his name? Kyle Dubas. Put him in the box. Anyways,
good on Dubas. Like, he did a good job.
Yeah, he did. He's all right. He's an all right guy.
Creative.
So that's all I have. You have anything?
No, I'm going back to Leafs game. Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Caps is going back to the Leaf game. I'm going to run out this intro I exit as long as I can, so he never gets to go to the Leaf game.
Bye.